Hi, Andy here today, and this video I'm calling Epic Willpower Fail because it is proof positive that I am a man of very little willpower and a bit of a sucker for an offer code. So a handful of records I bought online a couple of weeks ago, and I was prompted to do it by receiving an email while I was minding my own business from Rough Trade with a free shipping offer code, and I thought there was one record I've had on my list. I've given up trying to get it or hope of getting it in a record fair or a used record store. Never seen it, never likely to. And I'm talking about. Let me pull this out because it's a bit shiny, isn't it, in its wrapper? So, Pixies Doolittle. And I sort of thought, well, when I'm looking around, I might have a go at this one. So free shipping code, I thought, well, that makes it worth looking online. So a bit of a search through their stuff. I found it in their selection of essentials. And there lies a slight problem later on. So it was a reasonable price. It's a new reissue, not just release reissue, but in the last few years, brand new, sealed copy. So click on it, job's a good one. At which point I should be going to checkout, putting the free shipping code in, paying the money and leaving. But I was in their essentials, collection or whatever it is. And I thought, I'll have a look what else, because there's quite a few records that I have gaps and I keep an eye open for and never really see. So I ended up getting another 5, I think. Yeah, 6 altogether, which between them sort of contributed to free shipping anyway, so I didn't need the bloody code, hence willpower fail. So the next one I put on, again, is I ought to say that there's 2 or 3 of these which I've long had on CD, but I like that much that I wanted to get on vinyl when I saw them, and there's a couple of others which are just gaps basically. So this next one I had on CD for, I don't know, 20 odd years or something. Great record, an absolute classic, and I'm talking about Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, and this one is their reissue of their 50th anniversary copy. So when was that? Probably 16, 17, something like that. And it's in the original sort of mono. So I think it was released originally in mono. They had a choice, same price, mono or stereo. And I thought, well, I've never really bought mono. It was originally done in mono, so let's give it a go. And having listened to it, it's absolutely fine. It sounds really as it is, and it's a superb pressing. So, it doesn't require any introduction. Everyone knows it. But to be controversial, possibly, this contains a song which in my humble or not so humble opinion, is the finest pop song ever written, and that's God Only Knows. And I seriously think that is the best pop song ever written. Now to one which, this divides opinion. People tend to love him or hate him. It's sort of like Marmite one, but I really like this record. It was one I got into very early. I heard a track on the radio, I thought, I like that. Went and had a look. Discovered the CD, I think it had just been released, bought it, played it endlessly. And then about 6 months later, I started hearing tracks on it, particularly on adverts. And I'm talking about Moby and his album Play. And this is a double. I ought to say as well, while I'm showing a bit of vinyl, is all 6 of these are they're black. Oh, strange. I thought vinyl was meant to come in strange colours and splatters and things these days. I don't think it's going to take off. So, as I say, I had this, and it later became ubiquitous, really. And he took a lot of criticism for selling his soul to the devil and allowing endless tracks to be the background to various adverts and so on. But I don't care. It's a great album. I actually saw him, I think it was 2003, touring the album which followed this, which off the top of my head, I've forgotten what it's called. Can't remember. And that was actually a really good gig. I was surprised. I wasn't really expecting, given it's all samples and so on, I wasn't really expecting it to work that well live. But it did. He got singers on to sort of sit in, so it wasn't pure samples and just him. There was a band. I can remember to this day, and it was brilliant. You got about halfway through the gig. And it was like a sort of like, I don't know, a re-energizing. He said, we're now going to play 30 seconds of thrash metal. And he did. It was brilliant. It was just sort of completely out of context of the rest of it, but it was good fun. So I'm really pleased to get this. It's one I've had for years on my, on my sort of buy on vinyl, just because I like it so much. And so I got it. Another one in very similar mode. Now, and I dipped out for much of the 80s and really got back into music in the early 90s. And this was one of the first ones which I picked up on. And I'm talking about the classic Automatic for the People by REM. And again, some people sort of criticise it because it's a bit soft rocky and a bit soft, but I like REM. Well, not everything they've done, but this is one of their great classics. This is particular one is their 25th anniversary edition. Came out in 92, I think, so 2017. My maths is right. Haven't played this yet, but I haven't played it since I got it on vinyl. So all those are replacing CDs. The next couple are, like Pixies Doolittle, or just gaps in my collection. And this one's perhaps a bit of a surprising gap, but it's one of her albums. Got a couple of others, but this is one I haven't got, and I'm talking about Kate's Hounds of Love, a classic, and obviously with Running Up That Hill recently with whatever, I've forgotten what the name of the programme is now, has come back to light again. And it's another one I've never actually seen I have seen, I'm lying it here because I have seen a copy, but it was dreadful. I've never seen a decent copy at a decent price in a record store or fair. So I again resorted to a reissue. This is a remaster as well. Again, it's resplendent on black vinyl. Strange. What's to say? Everyone knows it. It's a great album. And last but not least is not classic. So all these other ones have been classic. This is a debut that I don't have, and it's from the band Fontaines DC, which are, if you don't know them, they're an Irish band based Dublin, though sort of hover between Dublin and London, I believe. Sort of post-punk, but not shouty like some post-bands, modern post-bands are, like Idols, for example. I really like the singers whose name escapes me again. I've forgotten. I like his voice and the Dublin drawl that he sings in. It's really good. I bought last year they released their third album, which was really good and was one of my top albums of last year. And I also bought the one before that. So Skinty Fear last year, and then A Hero's Death, I think the year before. And this came out, I think it was 2019-ish. And I heard a couple of tracks on the radio and liked it, but sort of never got round to actually going and looking to buy the album. So I've done that now. It's a bit of a completist thing. It's good. It's not as good as the second and third albums, but there's some cracking tracks on here, and I like it. So that was my epic Willpower fail. Going online, intending to buy one record and use a free shipping code, ending up buying 6. They're all brand new reissues. So they came at brand new reissue prices. None of them were sort of silly money. None of them were, wow, that's a bargain. But I still ended up getting free shipping because I bought so many. So thanks for listening. See you again soon.